Good morning everyone. Today's Cheat Meal Monday and I'm going to share with you a very frugal recipe. You know, I did some videos on living off of YouTube income and everybody was so fascinated by that. So I'm going to share with you a little more how I'm able to do that, and a lot of it has to do with eating frugally. As you know, food is very expensive and food is a big expense that people have, but having frugal meals can really save you a lot of money. And not everybody has extra money to spend on food. So you're going to see in upcoming videos very cheap and very frugal meals. So let's get started on today's meal. Everybody asks me how I keep my cast iron skillets so nice. What I do is every time I wash them, I will put a nice layer of coconut oil on it. And that keeps them really nice. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a half of a package of bacon. So it's going to be a ½ pound of bacon. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to fry this up while we work on our casserole. Alright everyone, I'm going to read you the ingredients. So, the ingredients are, it's called slow cooked bacon and beans. 1/2 pound of bacon chopped and of course fried. 1 cup of onion. 2 cans of pork and beans undrained. 1 can of kidney beans rinsed and drained. 1 can of butter beans rinsed and drained. 1 can of lima beans rinsed and drained. 1 can of black beans rinsed and drained. 1 cup of brown sugar. 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. 1 tablespoon of molasses. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of ground mustard. So I'm going to get all the beans together and I'm going to drain them and rinse them. I'm using up all kinds of my home canned goods. Here is some lima beans. Here is some kidney beans. And then I found in my pantry from long ago some black beans. And we're going to use these. At the pantry I got one of these. Now you see dented cans like this. You just got to want to make sure that it's not dented too much, that this is bowing. And it's not. It's good and sealed yet. But once we open it, we're going to take a look to make sure it's still good. So I'm going to use the small red beans in replace of the butter beans because I don't have any of them. So let's get all the beans together and we'll put them in the crock pot. So we have our 2 cans of baked beans, and now we're going to add all of these beans into the crock pot. Now you don't have to use a crock pot to make this recipe. You can use your oven or whatever you wish. So here are all the beans. This is great for a potluck, for a picnic. This is a recipe that most people will enjoy. So now we're going to add all of the seasonings to it. So we're going to start off with 1/2 cup of vinegar. Now I'm using just a little bit less because I am not a fan of vinegar. Now we're going to add 1 packed cup of brown sugar. 1 tablespoon of molasses. If you guys didn't see the video or where I capped my own molasses, I'll share with you that in above me and at the end of the video. It's very unique and I think you guys are going to really like it, those of you who missed it. And now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of ground mustard. So 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And 1/2 teaspoon of some mustard. Also, a lot of people say how they love my wooden spoons. I will share with you that in the description box where you can get these wooden spoons, and they're very frugal. They're not that expensive. Alright, I think we have everything here. And we're going to go give it a stir. And now we just have to wait for the bacon to be done frying, and then we'll put the bacon in. This is a family favorite. I bet you I made it over 100 times already, and it turns out perfect. Now we're going to put this on a slow cooker for about 6 to 7 hours on low and about 4 hours on high. I'll get back to you when the bacon is finished. And now, last but not least, I almost forgot, and I was ready to turn the camera off. We need the onions, don't you think? My goodness, Tessie. So here is the onions. So we're going to add some chopped onions to it. Now I say we're complete. And just add the bacon, and we'll be ready to go. All right, I'll get back to you when the bacon is finished frying. I hope you give the recipe a try. It is one of our favorites, and so I want to share with you different ways that you can save money on food. And having a YouTube income is like living off of Social Security. In fact, it's even less than that than what most people live off of. But I'm able to do it because I implemented many years ago my money saving ideas. So on Friday we did a video talking about beans and rice and about having financial freedom. If you missed that video, because I know it's a holiday weekend, go and look up here and at the end of this video, because it's very important and it's a good subject, and I share with you a lot from my heart. Beans and rice. So beans is something that is very good for you because it gives you your protein. And I'm going to be sharing with you in upcoming videos about how you can save a lot more money on groceries. I will admit to you that by being able to get food for free, that has really lifted a burden off of me as far as my expenses here on the homestead. And being able to glean this food that was going to be thrown away anyhow, it's a winner for me, because I know I'm using food that is going to be thrown away, plus I don't have to buy it. I know not everybody is able to do that, but everybody is able to save their money in their food. So beans are your protein. You know, when you are living in a real frugal situation, you don't have money to buy meat and buy things like that. So you're going to have to think outside the box. Now, I was able to get some ground beef last week, and I'm going to be doing a video sharing with you how I got it for only $3 for 2 pounds of it. And to me, that was really cheap. You know, it depends on your area. In the Northeast, things may be a little more expensive in some ways, but a lot cheaper in others. But all of these ideas you can implement. Learning how to cook frugal and learning how to go without, as far as without meat and things like that, is a big step in your finances. Food is the #1 thing that you shouldn't be overspending on, because food is something that is just generally you're eating it and it's gone. And don't ever use your credit card to buy food. That is something I learned a long time ago. When you use your credit card to buy food, you're using your credit card for something short term. Credit cards can be used great if you know how to use them. And a lot of people did point out that they have a credit card, but at the end of every month they pay it off. That is key. You know, credit cards aren't the bad thing. It's when we get used to using credit cards and not being able to pay them off at the end of each month. I've had to use a credit card in the last year for different things in my life that we needed to have a van fixed, my husband's work van. We had to use the credit card, but you have to pay it off. Once you miss a payment, you're just spiraling downhill. So let's go back to the food. So other areas that you can use, peanut butter. Peanut butter is another great thing that's fairly frugal, and you can get your protein with that. Fruits and vegetables can be really expensive, but if you can find some frozen fruits and vegetables, you really aren't losing a whole lot of nutrition. Frozen vegetables can be almost as nutritious as fresh ones, but you have to find the times of the year when frozen food is on sale. And when it's on sale, you stock up on it. I'm very much for stocking up on things when you see them on sale, because you never know when you're going to get a next sale. Here on my homestead, I can't grow corn. We have too many deer, and it would be way too expensive for me to have fencing and things like that. So I don't plant corn, but as you know, about 5 months ago, I was able to get frozen corn for $1 for a pound bag, and that is very reasonable here in my area. So I went and got 20 pounds of corn for $20. Now I did go and can that because at the time I didn't have a freezer, but you can put it in the freezer and it works amazing, and it will keep you for at least a year and longer if you vacuum seal your food. I'm trying to do portion controls. I'm really working on not eating quite so much, so my portion controls can save you a lot of money. I know back in 2007 when we were really getting out of debt, I lost a lot of weight simply because I didn't have extra food to be buying. And you know what? It can really help you in your health-wise as well. So it helps you in your wallet, and it also helps you with your health. There's just so many things you can do on a very meager budget. We are soon fast approaching 2020. Can you actually live a frugal lifestyle in 2020? You can. And I'm going to share with you how. And there's just so many areas I've never shared with you before. And I'm just so excited that you guys are really on board with me on this, and just really excited about hearing all I have to say. So today's with all kinds of beans. Now I know a lot of you said that you don't like beans because of the gas that it produces. I want to share with you a little tip. If you buy dried beans and you soak them overnight, if you add just a pinch of baking soda to your water, that will take out the gassiness of your beans. So you don't have to have beans that have that gassiness. Just add a pinch of baking soda to your water when you're soaking your beans. I also find that pressure canning my beans, I don't have the gassiness that you would have otherwise. But adding just a pinch of baking soda can make a world of a difference. Now, you can also do all kinds of things with beans. I'm going to share with you a lot more recipes coming up. And beans are something you can eat all year round. And beans give you good energy. So I'm trying to stay away from the sugars. Now I do eat a bagel every morning with a little bit of jelly with that. And so it has a sugar in there. Sugars are not all bad, but you have to have them in moderation. Sugars can help give you a burst of energy when you need it, but all things in moderation. And so sugar is something I'm really trying to work not having quite as much of it. You don't see a lot of desserts on my channel simply because I don't make them. If I make desserts, then I eat them. But once in a while, like you've seen on Saturday's video, where my son and I was making a chocolate cake, those are so much fun, and we have so many memories, and we're able to share our desserts with our loved ones. You know, a little bit of dessert is something that is really fun to have. Like I said, everything in moderation. You can make desserts for pennies as well. A fully stocked pantry can save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not thousands a year. And gleaning food here and there wherever you can make a huge difference. I know that fruits are very expensive, but you can also buy bananas. Bananas are very frugal no matter where you live, and especially in the South, it's much cheaper than it is here in the North. But bananas can give you high amounts of potassium, and it's very good for you as well. So you're going to have to just work your appetite around things that are on sale. And every once in a while you get that desire and that craving for something more exotic, and you can have that if you save up your money. Number one thing in saving your money, and I'm talking with the food wise, is don't go out to eat. A lot of people have told me that they can go out to eat much cheaper than they can make their food, and I really disagree with that, because you can buy very, very cheap and frugal food, but you gotta know where to look and what to use. Eggs are another thing that's very frugal. An egg, an omelet, and add little bits of things that you have left over from your refrigerator that week, you have yourself almost a free meal. So I would strongly suggest not going out to eat. Back before 2007, when we were really spending money, we would go out to eat a couple times a week. It was nothing for us to drop $100 or $150 a week in going out to eat. I shudder to think now about that all. And so living on a YouTube income, the number one thing for me was the food. And it's just something how I have felt like God has really answered my prayers, because when I started this living off of YouTube, now it's been a full year that I've lived totally off of YouTube. Food was becoming something I was really wondering about, and it made such a huge difference about getting this food. And I can't wait to share with you tomorrow what I got. And so last week is what you're going to see this week. Last week was a real stressful week. I was so busy putting up all of this food, and I can't wait to share with you tomorrow. You won't believe what I found. It is beyond anything anybody could ever imagine. And so this week, I'm hoping that I can have a more easier week, and I plan on just having a slower pace in life, and I'm really happy for that. There's a fall feeling in the air. Fall is my favorite time of the year. I'm just so ready to have this cooler weather, and I'm going to share with you how summer was so difficult for me and living a frugal life. And I'm going to share with you things I learned about this summer and things I can work on. So get ready, my friends. There's going to be a lot of videos, a lot of hands-on videos, not just me sitting and talking, but me actually showing you and then talking as well. Because if you're like me, I'm a kind of person who learns by doing and by seeing. I like to see what somebody is doing, and that really has helped me, and I hope it helps you too. Take care, everyone. God bless you. And I want to give a special little shout out to Little B. Little B is my youngest subscriber. She's 2 years old, and she loves Homestead Tessie, and she gave me a very special video greeting. She's a sweet girl, and I just wanted to say hi, Little B, and hugs and kisses to you too. Take care, everyone. God bless you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.